Hey, hello, it's Joanie McMahon here today in my 90-day series continued. This is video number 44. Really happy to be here today. And I just am using this quote to dive into the meaning of it even further. So the quote is, if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. Now, I'm going to give 3 examples about how significant and how important this particular quote is. It's absolutely true, and I think these examples will really help you understand what I mean by this. Okay, the first example is about relationships. People who get into relationships, let's say they're married. Most married people. Most people right now would say that, they're not very pleased with the fact that the divorce rate is so high. 1 out of every 2 people in North America who get married, according to the statistics, end up divorced or separated or something like that. So I think most people get into a relationship, I would say, because they think someone else is going to make them happy. And so they begin the relationship focused on all the wonderful things about this new person. And it's, a time of, a passion and the honeymoon phase. And, you just can't get enough of each other. And that continues. And as time goes on, you begin to notice other things about the person that perhaps you're not so happy about, whatever that might be. And over time, what I know happens because of my work as a psychologist is that people start to focus on things about this person that they don't like. And so whatever you focus on expands. That's the way it goes. So at first you're focused on what you love about this person, and it just gets better and better, and you have such a great time. And then as time goes on and you realize that, you got married because this person could make you happy, and 2 things happen. First of all, you begin to realize that nobody can make you happy except yourself. And the second part is when you focus on what you don't like about someone, you find more and more things that you don't like about that person. So you could have 9 great things that you love about the person you're with and 1 you don't like, and that's the one that usually that most people would focus on. They're going to focus on the thing that bothers them. Whereas if you understand the law of attraction, you want to be focusing on the things that all the wonderful things, And so if you were to just focus on those 9 things, you would get more and more great things that you loved about your partner. The same would be true if you had 9 things you didn't like about your partner and only 1 great thing. If you focused on that 1 great thing, more great things would have to be. That's just the way it works. So when you really begin to realize that what you focus on gets bigger, so you focus deliberately on focusing on what this person is great, doing that's great. And secondly, that nobody can make you happy except yourself. When you look to somebody else to make you happy, it can never be. That person isn't born to make you happy. They're born to to make themselves happy. And so you're in charge of your own happiness. So that's one example. The second example, and I just want to reiterate something I read in a book by Stephen Covey, the well-known author. And in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about being on a bus and seeing a father with 4 or 5 children, and the children are running all over the place on the bus. Now, most people witnessing that event, looking at that, would say something in their mind like, that father should be looking after his kids, right? And they would be upset that there's so much noise on the bus and that this father should be looking after his kids. And then when you get the information that this man had just lost his wife, the children had just lost their mother, and he was completely phased out about what was going on around him, all of a sudden the way you look at this whole picture changes. I'm sure you would agree with that. All of a sudden you're looking at it through fresh eyes. Perhaps you're even able to help with the children a bit, or whatever might happen. But you would agree that when you know that story, you change the way you look at this. Now, the last example would be something I learned quite a few years ago now. And you know what? It had never occurred to me before because no one had ever said that to me. But the purpose of life is to be happy. And for me, that was a change in the way I had looked at things. I had been raised to say the purpose of life is to get lots of degrees. The purpose of life is to be seen as successful in your culture. The purpose of life was to do what people expected of you, etc. There's so many purposes that we are given by well-meaning leaders, our parents, our teachers. Purpose of life is to do your homework, for example. That we lose track of the fact that the reason we've been put on this planet, the reason that we're here, is to have a wonderful life experience, period, to be happy. When we understand that that is our purpose, then all of our decisions become much easier. It's, will this make me happy or not? Does this feel good or not? Would I like to do this or not? It's not about, is this something I have to do, or listening to somebody because they are telling you what you should do. It's about listening to what makes sense for you. What makes you happy? So I hope that these examples have, as soon as I saw that, heard that idea, everything in my life shifted. Every decision I made was to ensure that it was one that would make me happy, to really figure out what makes me happy. I had literally lost track of that. And I think so many people do. They lose track of what's important to them, what makes them happy, what makes them unique and passionate about the life they have. All right, I think that's those are three good examples. I hope that it helps clarify this statement even more and the importance of it. I'm going to sign out for now and wish you a wonderful day. And if you would like my fan page at facebook.com/growwithjoanie, that would be amazing. Thanks. Bye for now.